Hello, and welcome to And Now You Know. I'm Teresa, and tonight I'll be answering the question, can Pokémon die? In the interest of transparency, I am not a Pokémon fan. I don't dislike it, I just never knew anyone who watched the anime or played the card or video games, so I just never got into it. My knowledge really goes no further than a few of the Cutie Pie characters, Detective Pikachu, and maybe an episode here or there in my older years. But what I do know is that these little guys get rocked in battles, and then they faint. It never made sense to me. So what's actually going on here? Do Pokemon die, or are they just the most resilient creatures ever? Let's start with the version most people are familiar with, the games. In battle, Pokemon don't die, they faint. They hit 0 HP, they collapse, and you can take them to a Pokemon Center where a nurse heals them in about 6 seconds and they're good as new. But as it turns out, the games contradict themselves. There's an entire town dedicated to dead Pokemon, and that town is Lavender Town. Perhaps one of the most notorious locations in the Pokemon game franchise, it was featured in Pokemon Red and Blue. It's very different from most of the other towns you visit. The music is unnerving, and in that town there is a literal tower filled with graves. Graves for Pokemon that are not coming back. Inside that tower, you run into the ghost of Marowak, killed by Team Rocket while trying to protect her child. Fun fact, Cubone is the child of Marowak, and it wears its mother's skull as a helmet to remember her. Cubone often cries for its mother at night, with its sobs echoing inside the skull. When Cubone evolves, the skull is said to become part of its body, and it becomes Marowak. And an extra fun fact, somewhere around 2010, stories started circulating on the internet about Lavender Town syndrome. It was reported that in Japan, shortly after Pokemon Red and Green was released, children started committing suicide. The original Lavender Town music allegedly contained high-frequency tones that only children could hear, causing immense sorrow and madness. Luckily, this story originated as a creepypasta on 4chan and has been widely debunked. But if you thought that was dark, just wait. There are many Pokédex entries that remind you these guys aren't all cute and cuddly. They really are monsters. You've got Pokemon like Yamask, whose Pokédex entry states that it once was a human who was killed. That mask it's holding, that was its face. So apparently humans can die in this universe, and sometimes they come back as little Pokemon Edgeens. Then there's Drifloon. Cute little balloon, right? Wrong. It tries to carry children away. According to multiple Pokédex entries, its attempts to spirit children off, sometimes described as leading them to the afterlife. The only reasons it doesn't succeed more often is because it's not strong enough or it gets spooked by kids tugging away too hard. If it does succeed, it gets bigger until it evolves into Drifblim, which is a hot air balloon and is said to carry people away, sometimes without a trace. We also have Hypno, a psychic Pokemon that hypnotizes people. Pokédex Fire Red states that it has lured children away, some of whom are never seen again. And lastly, Gengar. It's a ghost Pokemon that is a bit of a trickster. Its favorite trick is hiding in people's shadows to steal their life force. Some entries describing it as causing chills or draining warmth. And if you feel a sudden coldness, yeah, you're not long for this world. And if you're thinking, okay, but maybe that's just lore or a few extreme examples, it's not all death or darkness. Let me introduce you to the manga. The Pokemon Adventures manga does not play around. This is where Pokemon stops implying things and just shows you. One of the most infamous scenes includes a battle with Arbok. Charmeleon cuts Arbok right in two, and you see it. There's no cutaway, no fainting, just dead. But it later turns out Arbok can regenerate, so technically it survives. But also technically, it died. You've also got Pokemon being frozen solid and shattered into pieces during battle. Now, if I were a betting man, chances are most Pokemon aren't able to regenerate, and they're not coming back from that. And even humans aren't safe. There are moments where people are directly attacked by Pokémon or caught in explosions, and they are very clearly not okay afterwards. And then there's Mewtwo. In the anime, Mewtwo is very complex and emotional. In the manga, Mewtwo is an unstoppable menace. It breaks out of the laboratory, destroys everything in its path, and is portrayed as far more violent with real consequences for both humans and Pokémon. Now, the anime does acknowledge death at times, but it handles it very differently, much softer and much sadder. The most notable example is the death of Stoutland. It's an older Pokémon, and it's shown laying down and peacefully passing away. Stoutland's death absolutely gutted fans, and it hit so hard because it shows that even in this universe, nothing, not even Pokémon, lasts forever. This world has rules and is not immune to death. However, it chooses not to make it a focal point. The show, the games, and even the manga are primarily about adventure, overcoming challenges, friendship, and character development. Plus, it's aimed at children. There's really no need to show characters dying, as it wouldn't serve a purpose other than making a bunch of kids really, really sad. And now you know. If you have any questions you'd like answered, feel free to send me a message on Twitter at ANYKShow or email me at andnowyouknowshow@gmail.com. Until next time.